welcome to TCT time. This is part 2 of tips on how to save money while living in Tokyo. And we've got all of our save members as the last episode. Charla.
Hi.
Shiori.
Yaho.
And Sarah.
Hi.
Hello. Thanks for joining me again. So let's hear some of our other tips that we can discuss on how to save money. What are some tips that we missed out on last time?
I think I would recommend you guys go for the happy hour.
Yeah.
ね、そうだね。
But it's so cheap. The beer usually the less than half price. Usually the beer is if you are lucky 500 yen. And also the habudake. That's the English pub. I'm not sure the English people, the British people may say that's not the pub, but they always have the happy hour, and then it's very cheap. And then there's no charge fee like otoshi dai. In Japan, a lot of the
Oh
time.
yeah, I never thought of that. The foreign ones don't have that, do they? Yeah.
A lot of the time, whenever you go to the izakaya, Japanese bar restaurant, you need to pay the otoshi dai, which usually costs like 300 to 500 yen. It's a seat fee. But the hub or those very casual style place, they always have those happy hour. They usually don't charge the otoshi fee. Table charge ka.
Table charge, yeah. Sometimes I forget about that, but a lot of Japanese izakayas have table charge. And I think a lot of foreign tourists here are usually really surprised when they get charged.
Especially since they always give you a dish and then they think that's what they were charged for, and it's never something that foreigners like. I swear they pick the most obscure Japanese foods to serve for otoshi. It's always some gooey, horrible thing.
I know, but sometimes it's like squid innards.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I'm just
why is it always the worst thing? Can it be something simple, like a piece of tempura, or just put them on there or something? Do Japanese people like otoshi, or is it just right?
No.
You guys don't like it. So.
Really, Shiori, you don't like them?
Sometimes the otoshi is too random, I feel.
Very true.
And also expensive. So I think you guys should check the otoshi nashi or table charge, no table charge, kind of the izakaya. That's where you can drink another one more.
One more. Yeah.
And I'm not sure, I think basically most restaurants wouldn't let you do this, but I've had a couple of cases where I asked in advance for no otoshi, and they excluded it for me. But I think this is kind of rare. Generally, even if they don't give you the otoshi, they're still going to charge you the table charge.
Right.
But if you really want to negotiate or bargain, I think sometimes they'll be like, okay. Yeah.
でもさ、bargain, is there any way you guys can try doing the bargain kind of things, like
I
negotiate?
think there's only one place in Japan you can do that, and I don't know why. Other than cars, you can bargain the price of cars at the car dealership, but electronic stores, you can bargain prices of electronics there, like anything in the store, except for things that have a set price, like video games or video game consoles or some well-known brands. They won't allow you to bargain the price. But for example, when I moved into this apartment, I needed a washing machine and a fridge, and I went there and say they were $200 and $300 each. I was like, if I buy both of these, can I pay $400? And then they'll be like, let me go check. And then they'll type in the numbers. They'll be like, the lowest we can sell it to you is $410. And you'll be able to save several $100s. It's very impressive the amount of money they will take off. So every time you try to buy something from an electronics store, try and bargain. It's worth a shot because you usually have some leeway there with the price.
I had no idea. This is
yeah, lots of people don't know that.
Because Japan is known to be generally a no bargain.
Yeah, there's nowhere else you can do it. I don't know why you could do it in electronics stores. I guess because they're so competitive. There's so many of them. They want that they want you to buy it there. They don't want you to leave the shop and go get it somewhere else. So they're willing to drop the price.
Yeah.
I think the biggest item that I saved money on was a 500 $50 camera. That's what I ended up paying, and I think it was originally $800.
What?
Like $250 on it. They kept giving me a price, and I was like, "Mada takai da." And they just kept going down, and then I was like, "Yeah, $550. Okay, fine."
That's incredible. I guess probably because they get a commission. I think they're just really intent on trying to maybe.
Yeah, they don't
And
care
also,
if they sell it for. They just want to sell it.
yeah. Also, now that you mention that, I think if you found something like the same product online for cheaper,
Yeah, you
then
can show that to them, and they'll
yeah,
just match it.
Exactly. They'll match it or give you like a little bit of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way to go. Man, you can save so much money at electronic stores.
Definitely. Oh, and always get the point card for electronic stores. Any store in Japan. I feel like every single store that exists in Japan has a point card. Always get them, especially if it's someplace you're going to be going back to, because especially the electronic stores, they give you 10% back in points that you can use at the store. So if you spend $400 on a big item, you'll get $40 back in points that you can use towards your next purchase. So yeah, always use those. T-point card is a really good one. It's kind of like the general point card for Japan, and you can use it at convenience stores and bookstores and a bunch of different places renting a car. So they really stack up quickly. And then you can use the points to pay for items at all of those different stores.
Exactly. And if you want to, you can also like, I think use their like online catalog. Like I think
really?
Yeah, for T-Point at least, like if you sign up to their, I mean, I don't know, they send you emails sometimes, but like you can redeem you can use your points, to like get stuff.
I didn't know that.
That's
I
awesome.
use the points for the Yahoo travel website because the T-point can use for the Yahoo travel website. So like
get so much. Yeah.
And they just use for the a bit of the expensive hotel and they stay and they enjoy.
Oh, that's nice.
That would be so awesome. Oh, just
point
traveling.
Point cardちょっと too much then. I have my wallet.
I have like a separate wallet for point cards. There's so many of them.
I know, they add up. But luckily they're changing them to more online nowadays. So a lot of them are apps.
Yeah, true.
So these days, I think you can kind of reduce your point cards a little bit by having an app instead.
True. Or just having like the major ones like the T point or the D point, the Docomo points. That's a good one as well. Several different stores use that. So if you're just going to have a couple point cards, get T point and D point.
Point, D point.
Yeah.
Those are good tips. Actually, I just realized one more thing, but in terms of bargaining, I heard that in Osaka, that's maybe the one area in Japan that they actually do bargain.
Oh, like even in like clothing shops? Or...
Yeah. It might not be every shop, but I've heard that they have actually kind of a long history of like bartering. And it's not the same for other regions in Japan, but Osaka is much more, like it's a little bit more of their culture. So especially if you go to smaller shops that are like family owned or whatever, you can totally bargain and they will be very friendly about it. Be like, oh, okay, let's, if you're going to buy these two things, let's make it a deal. So if you ever go to Osaka, I think that might be a place to try it out. And Sarah, did you have any other, any tips for saving money?
Well, I actually have I know a couple of people who bargain at Furugiya, which are secondhand stores.
Oh, really?
For clothing. Yeah, I haven't actually bargained for clothes yet, but I do shop at Furugiya to buy like a lot of clothes. And like in Australia, secondhand clothing stores, they're not usually the best. Like we have Vinnie's and it's just like donations and they're kind of old. Whereas in Japan, you can find brand new items. So they could be like $100, $200 and they're reduced to like $10, $20 in a secondhand store. So it's not always like old clothes. So I love doing that. And then secondhand bookstores as well. I think we all really like those here in Japan, like Book Off, which also has like video games and like figurines, manga.
Sometimes it's hit or miss. I got a video game there once that was like scratched and it didn't play. Yeah, but crazily enough, I actually bought a Nintendo Wii at Book Off for $15.
Yeah, you get really old consoles.
Yes, but It was one of the earlier versions, so it wasn't like a new one, but it still works. And like they had marked it all the way down to like Sengohyaku, and that's the cheapest I've ever seen like a game system sold before.
And you can find like Japanese language books.
Very true. And you can sell your books and games there.
True.
And get a little bit back. You don't get much money out of it, but you do get a little money back.
One more thing. I know there's the beauty vouchers online. Yeah.
I love you can get really good deals. If you go to a different salon every time, they have lots of deals for like a first-time customer to try and encourage people to go to their salons. So if you just go to a different one every time, you can get really cheap nails, eyelashes, haircuts.
So yeah, Hot Pepper Beauty, that's a really great like online magazine, like coupon.
Yeah.
But originally it was like an actual like free magazine that you could get. I think you could find them in train stations. Maybe not anymore. I think
Probably
they
not as much.
don't really use this anymore. It's just online. You can get like an app and things like that. Also, there was another app. It's similar to Hot Pepper Beauty.
Oh, really?
It is called Minimo.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So same thing. You can get like cheap nail deals, eyelash deals. And they also sometimes have postings for like cut models.
Oh, I see.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you want to get a free haircut, and have them, they'll use your photo, maybe for their website or something, or like just for practice. That's one way to get a free haircut. So you'll get a trainee who wants a cut model to practice on.
I see. But I only use the Hot Pepper, but yeah, I just checked the website, but it's so similar. It's
Very
competitor Hot Pepper, I guess.
But yeah, those are good things for like beauty. Do you guys have any other like tips for saving money when like travel, like getting around in Tokyo or like traveling?
Oh, nowadays, Japan is always the cash-oriented countries, but trying to make it cashless as much as they can. So if you use the Suica apps or the card, sometimes you can get the cashback. So those things are also important. On the commute-wise, if you buy the 1 month Teiki, so basically if you go to some specific spot all the time, it's definitely cheaper. And also those or you can ride kind of ticket for the each lines. That's also going to be good, I think.
Very good. I think if you live here and you're always using the same line, it's super worth it to have a monthly pass. And then you don't need to worry about like if you need to leave somewhere like twice in a day, you don't need to pay like that long distance twice. Basically, that's a free ride after that. Like you're riding twice in a day, it's no problem.
And also you can get off in the between, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So like on the weekend, if you're going shopping somewhere, then cool.
Exactly. So if you live on a useful line with like a lot of good stations, then any station on that line would be included, so you don't have to pay extra money. Did you guys have any tips for like getting around?
I would just say ride a bicycle. Japan is so bicycle friendly. It feels very safe to ride a bicycle here just because everybody's so accustomed to having so many bicycles around, but people are very careful. And there's always some place to park it and lock it up. And bicycles are just cheap here. You can get one for under $100, a brand new bicycle. So
with the bikes, if you're a tourist, like there's a few ways to get around Tokyo. You can hire a bike, which is quite cheap for the day. Or they have like these passes, like each, company for each line, they have a pass, and some of them are really good, where you save, like if you're a tourist, you're going to go to several spots in the day and you can save by like going on that pass.
Actually, this is something I'd never tried, but like, yeah, renting the bicycles in the city, like there's some areas where you can rent, like they have like little bike parking lots, and I think there's like city bicycles that you can use. That would be a really cheap way to get around or like explore that area.
Yeah, that'd be great if you're visiting a new town and you want to explore it. Much better than taking a taxi around or train. You can see all the little side roads and stuff. I rented one in Otsu, I think, and it was really nice. especially for those pretty like countryside areas.
Oh man, I think that would be so amazing if you're traveling here.
Yeah.
I never get to do that because like I have a bike and I use it where I live, but I can't take my bicycle on
Right.
the train.
Right.
Well, you can if you have like a fold-up bicycle, but
Oh, really? I've never seen anyone.
yeah, no, you can. In Japan,
Oh, wow.
like since trains are so big here, like so common, you can actually buy collapsible bicycles.
You're allowed to bring those like in the car.
Yeah, and
Wow.
you even have like a bag for it, like a carry case.
Cute.
And then yeah, you can just carry it out and then like unfold it and then ride it around.
Wow.
I did that before. I went to the Ishikawa prefecture and then cycle to the top, and then I carry the holdable one, put in the cover. Without cover, you cannot go inside, so you need always cover. And then we call it rinko. Rinko means having the bicycle in the train, and then trip to the Toyama and come back. So it was so fun. So when you are tired, just take a train with the specific way, but you can go around Japan with that, no problem.
It's amazing. I like that. That makes me think maybe I need a fold up.
I know, right?
The one thing that I think we forgot to mention was like that I thought was actually a really good point is when you're at home to turn off the
hot water boiler. Yeah, so I think lots of people leave that on because they don't realize that it's using energy, boiling water. So once you're done using the hot water, make sure to turn off your hot water boiler.
But the hot water is super important. Like if you ever leave for like a little trip, it should be off.
Oh my God, leave that on, yeah. And if you have a heated toilet seat, turn that off before you leave on a trip.
Turn it off or unplug it.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, those are definitely, like we've covered a whole lot of tips. I'm sure there's plenty more that we just didn't think of, but like this is a pretty solid list.
You guys have any ideas of ways you can save money in Japan? Leave us some comments. But
yes, totally. I'm sure all of you guys watching have some tips for saving money like when you traveled here. So we'd love to hear about them. Because I'm sure there's some that we didn't even know, and we're always open to saving money.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today and for all these amazing tips. As Charlotte said, please leave some comments down below about your tips for saving money, especially in Japan. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of TC Tea Time.
Thanks for
watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Come by.
Bye.
Hey.